All right, finally, welcome everybody. Thank you for being here to our final Star Teachers interactive channeling experience for the year 2022. So the teachers, as I was saying earlier, have been on my back to offer um, the capacity for them to speak to the world before the end of the year, because they say there's a lot coming up in the next cycle, which they don't go by time, they just go by cycles and waves of probability. And as you, I'm sure, have noticed, the world has become very, very active, and time is accelerating and things are amplifying. And a lot of people are feeling up in arms about everything. Everybody seems to be on their last nerve. But the teachers have a lot to say about that, and I hope you will enjoy. I'm not going to say too much. Most of you who are on right now know me, but I am recording this, and this is going to go out to the global population as a recording afterwards. I was going to also do it on YouTube Live, but I can't get it to work today. I'm just having a lot of tech problems. So I do apologize for those of you who wanted to do it that way, but you'll at least get this on the recording. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Debz Shakti, and I am called the Star Teachers, or usually they just go by the teachers, because they say even the word star limits the notion of who they are. But and they'll go into this in more in depth here in a little bit when they start talking, but basically who they are, they say, is us, on a higher level frequency. And we're gonna, they talk a lot about the quantum nature of life and the infinite nature of each of us. So, there's more than just this you looking at the screen right now and listening to me, and there are infinite versions of you. And yet, what they say is the only person who exists is you. And all of these other faces that you're seeing, and all the people out there in the world and in your home and all that, they're just other versions of you. But they'll get to that in their own talk. They can explain it so much better than I. But basically, they speak through me, and they are here not to tell you what to do, but I think to explain how you do things, because you are infinitely creating. And it's nice to have a little bit of a key to the map, if you will, of the things that you are capable of doing, rather than just haphazardly punching all the buttons and wondering what's going to happen next, which is what it feels like people are doing right now in the world. So anyway, before I get started with them, I just want to let everybody know that I am in the middle of my annual gratitude special for all of my services. So if you're interested in doing anything one-on-one with me, or interested in some of the things that I do, maybe you don't know me, you can go to my website. It's right there under my name on the screen, and check it out. Most of my services from now to the end of January 31st are on a love offering basis. And those that aren't, the more complicated ones, are at a reduced rate, so that everybody can have access to services if they need. And that applies to gift certificates too. And that's the last little plug I'm going to give for my stuff, because this is all about you and about the teachers and how to have a happier life. So without further ado, I will ask that you keep yourselves muted during this portion of the program, the experience, so that we don't have a lot of cacophony going on in the background, and you can hear the teachers well. They will usually start with a message that they say, is pertinent to what's happening now and what's going to happen in the near future. And then they will take you through an experience. And what they've told me today is that the experience is going to be an upgrading of your systems, so that you can capacitate more of the higher vibrational energy that you need to move up to the higher frequencies so that you can kind of, how they put it is, hit escape velocity from this very dense, slow moving, seemingly negative one, okay, and have a happier, healthier life. So this experience is going to be spoken through my voice, but it will be them giving you the experience. And it's not just on words. The words are the carrier wave for the energetic information and all of the activities that are going to be happening with you. Some of you may experience some physical sensation, some of you may not. What I've been told is that they're going to take us on quite the journey so that we can experience all of life from different perspectives. And then they're going to tie that together into uh, kind of fulfilling the message that they gave. And after that's over, they'll bring you back and then we'll open the floor for questions and answers, and you can interact with them and just ask anything you like. And we'll do that with the raised hands method. So, keep yourself muted until they call on you. And then when they call on you, just unmute yourself and ask the question, and you can have a chat if you like. Also, the chat is open. You guys can talk to each other if you like. I am truly not here once this starts. In fact, I'm very, very lightly tethered to this form right now. I'm already kind of, off on vacation as they're coming in. So I don't answer the chats, but you can talk to each other in the chats. You can share your email addresses or whatever you want in the chats if you like. And I will publish that chat in the description of the recording if you guys want that. Okay, so having said that, I think we'll just get started. I don't really do a whole lot. I have a very deep practice that I do every day. I've already done it. I can get into that mode very quickly, and they're definitely knocking at the door. So I'll stop yapping and let them speak to you. What I advise is, if you can, it looks like a lot of you who I can see on camera are using some sort of headset or AirPods or whatever. If you have access to those, you might want them, especially for the experiential part, because the music and the words and everything are really cool coming through those, but it's not necessary. Just make sure that you stay muted through that portion, okay? And so we'll wait. Someone just got up and left. I'm gonna wait till they get back, so I don't want to start. But feel free to, you can get up and leave. You can do whatever you need to. Sip your drink if you need to. You might see my body doing things throughout this thing, especially working when they get into the question and answer thing. I'm not cognizant of what my body's doing. And if you try to ask me questions while they're talking, I probably won't respond because I'm seriously kind of off in another frequency. So if you need to ask me any questions afterwards, I'm here for you too, but we'll save that for them. All right. Well, I think we're just going to get started, and the other person can jump in whenever they need to. So everyone just get very relaxed. I'm just going to take a deep breath or two. In Lakesh, we're the teachers, and we are so, so grateful that you are here today. We've been watching you. We've been walking with you. We've been living with you throughout the cacophony of this year, throughout all the years, actually. But this one has been very, very pinnacle in your development. As you know, there's a lot going on in your world, and it seems to be something that you can sit around and really be upset about or really celebrate, depending on what you're looking at and where you are in your energy. And so what we'd like to say is that that is the greatest message we can give you. Your point of perspective is what actually gives you the reflection back in your reality of who and what you are. So let's back up a moment and we'll introduce ourselves. We really don't have a name. We are a group ET interdimensional entity known as the teachers only because our partner asked us for a label. But part of our message today is to remind you that labels cause separation. They cause judgment by virtue of their nature. When you label something, you make it something other than you. So it's okay to call us whatever you want to call us, but just feel us instead. And we hope that you'll start to work that way with each other and with all of the cosmos very, very soon. This is how you succeed in what you are attaining, what you are wanting to attain. We feel your hearts. We know that you are desperately tired of the way things are moving in your civilization right now. And you seem to see your species degrading, de-evolving, but it's not true. It's just the value that you are labeling each person and scenario with your mind. What we'd like to tell you is we are you on a higher frequency. There are infinite amounts of yous out there in infinite amounts of universes. And in fact, every time you make a choice between one or more things, you create other universes for the other yous to play out those other choices that you did not choose. So you're always creating more and more and more of life. You are the creator. There is only one consciousness in the world, in the universe, and that is you and all the other reflections of you. What we like to say is that life is a perfect divine jewel, and it is infinitely faceted. What you see as your persona, the one walking around in the spacesuit that you're wearing right now, is but one facet, one point of perspective into the jewel that is holographically all of life, everything. You are connected to all of it, and you are all of it, and your facet contains the information of all of it because it is holographic. And yet, all of those other facets seem to be something separate or different from you, but they're not. They're just another point of perspective so that you can have infinite perspectives on the same subject, which is life. So, when we first started this conversation with you, we said in Lakesh. In Lakesh is the greeting that we gave to civilization thousands and thousands of years ago, and it simply means I or we are another you. And it's true. Everything in life, no matter how profane or profound, no matter how ugly or beautiful, no matter how dark or light, really has neutral value. All of it has neutral value and is divine until you assign it a value via your judgment, which is colored usually by your past experiences and your point of perspective. So, the message that we want to give you today is that number one, you actually do succeed. You succeed in sustaining your focus on something that is much grander, much more harmonious, much less effort filled and effortless than the one that you are focused on right now. You do succeed it because if you didn't, we wouldn't be speaking to you now, because we are you having attained that place, if you will, that facet in the jewel, that frequency. Everything is made of the same energy, and it all is just vibrating at different rates of frequency. That makes some things look solid. That makes some things be like sound. That makes some things be like just pure consciousness, which everything is. You are pure consciousness. The ground you are standing on is pure consciousness. The stars, millions and billions of light years away, are pure consciousness. They just hold value that you have assigned to them with your mind. So, how do you get out of the habit or the attachment of giving judgmental value to other things? Well, that's what we're here to help you with today. You put yourself literally into the place of the person or situation that you are judging. And you put yourself in it fully, with all the sensation, with all of the neutrality that you can. Now, this might be hard for some of you, especially those of you who are not very practiced in the art of getting still. We highly recommend meditation, being in nature, being kind to yourself and others, and doing things that make you feel good, happy, joyful, loving, kind, and compassionate. We recommend forgiveness. Remember, there really is nothing to forgive, but it is helpful. It's a helpful exercise in putting yourself in someone else's consciousness, if you will, or their facet of the jewel. When you can do this and be grateful for every single thing that you are experiencing, because it's all reflecting back to you and therefore your teacher giving to you exactly what you need so that you can progress higher and higher and higher. Well, that's when you actually succeed in letting go of the attachment to the idea of where you are and what you are right here in this place. Third dimensional earth life is nothing more than a construct. It is an experimental science lab, if you will, and you built it. You built it so that you could have experiences that you were curious about. And the most experience that you were curious about came from feelings. It came from the wanting to know how things felt other than being in a place of homeostasis, of pure singularity. That's all it is. But many of you have done this over and over and over again, what you might call the wheel of karma. And you have literally, come to the end of the experiment. You have done everything that you think you could get from this. And what's left is cleaning up the science lab, which nobody really wants to do. If you remember your days back in school and you had a lot of fun blowing things up and making things grow and creating new crystals and all sorts of things in your chemistry class, for instance, nobody really wanted to be the person who was left who got picked to clean it all up before spring break. But somebody has to. And so when you're in that room all by yourself or with some of your pals, and you look around and all you see is a huge mess that seems insurmountable, well, you can get a little bit crazy. You can get a little bit angry, a little bit resentful, and you can start blaming. Why did those people leave and leave me with this mess? Why is this stuff still bubbling away? Who left that on? And you can get really angry. And pretty soon you have wasted hours and hours and hours of your time that you could have been doing something else had you not been standing there judging all of it. So that's where you are in your civilization right now and in your state of awareness, most of you. You're looking around and you see the most dire situations happening in the world. You see evil, you see anger, you see control, you see greed, you see corruption, and you feel incapable of making a difference, most of you. Why me? Why do I have to clean up the science lab? Why can't I go on spring break early? It's because you constructed it. You did all the experiments. And somebody needs to do it. So, how do you do it? You don't do it by fighting. You don't do it by getting angry. You don't do it by judging. You do it by looking around and being grateful for all the lessons that came to you from all of this experimentation, all this experience, and you bless it all. You see the divine in everything. You allow yourselves to not judge anything. We know that's hard, but you can find something good or beautiful, or at least pleasant in anything that you look at or anyone. You can look at the most evil person you can think of in the world right now and still find something good to focus on. Perhaps they have beautiful eyes, or perhaps, they're a great painter, even though they rob everybody blind. Try to stay out of judgment and allow yourself to see that divine spark that is within every single facet of the jewel that is you. And when you do that as a practice, and it is a practice, you have to keep chipping away at it, you start finding that things do only have neutral value until you assign a value to them. So it seems insurmountable. The world seems to be in a very dark place, and there's so much evil happening. But it is exactly the same as just the leftovers of the experiments in the science lab. That's all it is. Don't get discouraged. Pick up your rag, pick up your mop, and sing a tune to yourself, and be glad that you still have the ability to mop it all up, to clean it all up, to shine it all up, and then let it go. And when you do, you will find yourself in the reality that we are in, one that is evolved past the need of having the comparison of judgments, good and evil, beautiful and ugly. Duality. Duality only exists in this laboratory. It doesn't exist in the rest of creation. We promise you. And if you agree to at least give this a try, you will enjoy the same life that we do. You will just suddenly realize things don't bother you as much as they used to. Are they still going on? Of course, because everything that you can imagine, everything that you have perceived or can think up is created and doesn't die. It's like having a theater full of movies playing on different screens, except that they're all on pause except the one you're looking at. All you have to do is decide to put pause on this one and look at one that looks more pleasing to you. And you do that with your imagination. And you feel it in your bones. And you act as if it is real, because it is. You've been given a huge pile of propaganda since you were born into this life that your imagination is just a frivolous thing that you should try to abolish. You should be serious, and you should work hard on making things right. And you should always fight evil, and you should always try to be a better person. Of course you should. But fighting only begets more fighting. The only way you overcome evil is with love. And the first step to loving anything is just to notice something to love in someone or something, because there is never pure blackness. There's always a speck of light in there. Look for the light, and suddenly the darkness starts to go away. It starts to diminish. If you celebrate the light, if you acknowledge it in someone or something, suddenly your perspective starts to change, and it's no longer in this other negative balance. We may be speaking somewhat esoterically to you right now, but we promise that there is a method to this madness, and you'll see it once we go through the experience with you. Because we're going to give you an experience that will incorporate your imagination and all of your sensory apparatus that are part of the onboard system of that spacesuit that you're walking around in. Really, you're just energy, spirit, walking around in a special spacesuit with a special operating system so that you can engage with the environment that you're in right now. That spacesuit isn't yours. It's not you. It's just a suit. And it's pretty rudimentary, we must say. Just wait till you see who you really are. And we hope that you'll see that in just a few minutes in this experience. So our message is, lighten up. What you focus on is what becomes your reality, because it's like a tuning device. Your consciousness is nothing more than a tuning device. And what you are paying attention to, what you give attention to, whether that's through love and appreciation and gratitude, or resentment, disappointment, and hatred, becomes your reality. The universe gives you literally what you pay attention to, what you give your energy to. So it's your choice. Most people just don't realize that they have a choice. And some people do, but they're so entrenched in the addictive properties of literally the chemicals that are created in some of this operating system that flood the spacesuit and make you think that this is your reality. So the way you change that chemical complex prescription that is flowing through that system is by changing your thoughts and changing your perspective, right? So what's coming up? We can tell you that there's a lot of good to be had in the coming time frame, the cycle that's coming up, what you call your new year. But hold on to your horses, hold on to your hat, because a lot of people who aren't as open to listening to a message like this are still very attached to the drama of the illusory theater that you all have created in this science lab. And it's going to play out, and you may see things come to a head. All the stuff in the lab may bubble over. Some explosions might happen. We're speaking metaphorically here, but you get our drift. Some stuff's going to come down in the next few months, and it's going to look really hard to get over. It's going to look like you may be under attack. It's going to look like you may be held back from things. It's going to look like you have more challenges than you've ever had before. But it's not true. It's just what it looks like, because it feeds on what you have already set in motion with your mind. So what we're trying to get across to you is reset that operating system, that little operating system up here in this brain that has access to the cloud. And the cloud is you. It holds all the answers. It holds all of the experiences. It holds every facet of the jewel. Don't just stay stuck in this tiny little file sharing system in here, because all that is carried around in this flash drive of a system in your brain is just, the most essential or the most used files. Does that make sense? It's like the algorithms that run your social media. If all you look at are the recipe videos on your social media, all you seem to keep getting are recipe videos. If all you look at are videos of all the wars in the world on your social media, you're going to get more and more videos of the wars in the world. Your internet, your social media, it's all just a reflection of life, of the algorithm of your consciousness. And remember, there's just one consciousness, and it's you, and all the reflections of you through the facets of those points of perspective that are also you. So you get to choose. But a lot of people don't like choosing what we're saying because it bespeaks a lot of work. But it's not a lot of work. It takes no more effort to love than to hate. It takes no more effort to choose to be happy than to be stuck in the addictive chemical cocktail of feeling depressed and less than and beat upon and left out. That's just an algorithm. Switch the file, switch the search engine, switch your keyword. We're going to give you a keyword later on that's going to help you with this instantly. And we hope that you'll love it. So our message is, yes, there are some challenges coming up. A lot of closed minds or unawakened minds are going to need a giant slap in the face before they pay attention to what is inevitably happening. The science lab is self-corrupting. It only lasts as long as it needs to last, and it's played out its value. So the walls are falling apart, and the heating doesn't work. And, dare we say, there are some explosions happening. Don't look at it as something dire. Look at it as, oh, I'm finally free and I can do something else. Wow, I forgot there's a big wide world out there. I was so focused on these experiments. Don't let things freak you out. Remember to breathe. Remember to be still and to go within. We cannot stress that enough for you. We're not going to tell you what to do, but we do tell you that's how you succeed. And here's the good news. You do it in this lifetime. You do it in this incarnation. This is the one that changes everything. And that's why we're speaking to you today. That's why we actually reached down through these layers and started talking to you several years ago. Because you were ready and because it was time. In quotes, time. All right. So if you're ready to have the experience that literally helps you do what we say that you do so that we can exist as you, let's do this. We thank you for staying with us with this. Don't despair. Everything is working out perfectly. You devised it before you ever came in. You just gave yourself amnesia so that you could have a valuable experience without remembering that you had superpowers to get over all of this. But you do, and they're coming online right now, and some of them today. Are you ready? Here we go. So we're going to ask you to get very comfortable. If you like, you could put something over your eyes or shut your lights off if you like, but it doesn't matter. We're going to have our partner turn on some music to help you get more comfortable. And we're going to ask you to close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, let yourself take a few deep breaths. If there's anything that is miraculous in the spacesuit that you're wearing, it's your capacity to breathe. The breath is the bridge between the physical and the cosmic, between the human and the divine. So take a few deep breaths. Close your eyes, and if you want to, look up to that point above your nose, between your eyebrows, and hold your focus there for a few seconds. That's like a reset button for you, and it will help you to calm down, to release the monkey mind, and to focus on my voice, to focus on the music, to focus on going within yourself. Relax. This should be fun. It should be enjoyable. This is nothing that should cause you effort or strain. Allow yourself to relax, to release, to let go. Let go of the focus of today, even to let go of the words that we just spoke to you. Relax. Feel yourself getting heavy in the body and light in form. Almost as if you're becoming a mist and you're drifting up out of the body, knowing that the body is going to be upgraded as well. Physiologically, it will be receiving all sorts of help and assistance, healing if needed, and balancing while we're doing this experience together. Feel your consciousness now lifting up out of the body, knowing that the body is protected and going through this helpful treatment. And in that consciousness, imagine yourself in a deep forest. Remember to utilize all of your physical senses here. Smell that forest smell. Feel the temperature and the moisture of the air on your skin. Along with my voice and this music, allow yourself to hear the birds, the breeze through the leaves or the needles of the trees. If there's something edible nearby, reach out and take a bite of it. Perhaps it's a piece of fruit or a berry or a nut. In consciousness, you can still use your physical senses, and yet they are much more amplified. Enjoy the sensations, feel them, take them in. Look at the colors, hear the sounds. And now, allow yourself to find the most magnificent tree in the forest. Go there now and float in awe in front of this beautiful, beautiful being. Perhaps it's an ancient tree, and you allow yourself to go and wrap yourself around it. Feel the bark rough against you. Smell it. Take it in. And you begin to feel a vibration coming from the tree into your own being. It feels quite different from you. And yet it's alluring, delightful, but very calm, very present. This tree, like you, has recorded everything that it's ever experienced in its existence as a tree. And you're merging with this tree, going deeper and deeper, and allowing yourself to share these experiences. With all of your senses, you're now experiencing everything the tree has experienced. Picnics, wars, seasons, maybe even hundreds and hundreds of years of life. Animals, birds, weather, everything. And yet the tree has always been here, just experiencing and bearing witness to all of it. Sometimes applying itself as sustenance for some of these life forms, or shelter. Experience the tree. And then allow yourself to go even deeper down into the tree's systems, going down into the earth, into the roots, choosing one root through that pathway, down, down, down into the earth, until you get to the tip of the finest filament of its root system. And at the tip is a drop of water. Go into that drop now. Experience being that drop of water, going down through all of the layers of the earth. Down, down, down. And you feel the friction of the soil, of the rocks, of the crystal, of the minerals. You smell the smells of the earth. You feel the temperature changes, and you taste the mineralization that you're accumulating in your drop self. Until you finally come to a place that's very dark, but you can still perceive everything. It's a cave. It's a giant cave, and you are traveling very slowly over eons, down, down, down through a spire of mineral called a stalactite from the roof of this cavern. After eons, you as this drop, containing all of the memories and the feelings and the experiences of everything that you came into contact with on your journey, now contained in yourself, you drip off of the tip of that stalactite into a pool of water that goes down into an aquifer deep in the earth. And you begin to experience everything that happened in that cave. Take a few minutes and let yourself experience that without any attachment, to feelings. Be a pure witness. Millions of experiences have happened in here and will continue to occur with animals, with microbes, even with humans and non-humans. As the drop in the puddle now, let yourself move through this aquifer and find yourself going into a stream, eventually coming out of the earth and slithering down a huge waterfall, part of a glacial ice melt, high up in a mountain. And begin to gather in all those experiences. What did that mountain experience in its existence? Who and what was there? Everything exists always. Pull it in. Revel in it as you fall. Finally, coming to a river down below and making your way out to the ocean. And in that ocean, you experience merging with all of the beings who live there or who have lived there. Fish, mammals, plankton, coral, interdimensional civilizations. Everything that exists there has always existed there, you now pull in. Take a few minutes to examine from a neutral place, without judgment or labeling, what it's like to be some of these beings, some of these scenarios. Breathe in the fullness of this. Put yourself into these places of the other facets of your being. And as you do, you realize, you recognize most of it. You can resonate with most of it because it is you. You just haven't been paying attention to it. And then I'd like for you to let your consciousness, still gathering all of this information and keeping it within your being, let your consciousness go out into space now. Out into space, see the stars, planets, asteroids, the comets. See the most minute space dust and the grandest of forms, giant black holes, gas giants, giant stars, microbes, spores, the tiniest and the grandest, all are there. Let your consciousness visit inside some of these forms. Revel in how amazing this all is, and it's all you. And then very gently see yourself in a craft, what you might call a spaceship. Only you can see the craft you're in. Give it all the sensory information you can. What are the textures, the colors, the sounds, the smells, the tastes? Who is there? Let yourself not be afraid. Remember, this also is you. Now see the beings who are in this craft. Really see them. Maybe not with your eyes, with your third eye if you need to. Nothing to be afraid of, just because they may look different from you or from what you expected. They're benevolent in this scenario. But remember, everything has neutral value until you give it a value. So there's nothing to fear if you don't give a negative value to them. Let your consciousness slip inside one of them and be them. What does that feel like? What information do you know that you didn't know you knew? What new tools and tricks do you have? And why are you here? As this being and as the you that you are, why do you think you met up in this way? Get quiet for a moment and ask that question. Why are you here? and let the answer come. And then condense yourself down into the heart center of this being and see yourself as a brilliant orb containing all that is, all that makes up this being. Its heart, its consciousness, which is you, its talents, its beauty, its brilliance. And let the body dissolve away, let the spaceship dissolve away, and see yourself traveling through dimensions, through waves and waves of things we cannot even describe in your words. Waves of light, if you will, popping in and out, visiting those you love, delighting others with your presence. Each time you blink in and blink out of a different dimensional situation, letting someone view you, you bless them with the information they need, with the healing they need, with the love they need. Because this is you showing them the brilliance of your heart. This is you bestowing the greatest gift, unconditional love and hope and joy and wonder and delight. And as you zip around through the cosmos, feeling your complete freedom, realizing you have no boundaries. You can be as large or small, take on any form or no form as you like. You can be and do whatever you need to increase that happiness, to increase that love, that hope, that joy, that wonder, that childlike wonder, that delight. And within this sphere of light, this orb that is your pure form, stop. And be still. No thought, no agenda, no movement. And suddenly you begin to feel wave upon wave upon wave of something that is inexplicable in its nature. The greatest love, the purest condition of unconditional love. First, it feels like it's scanning you, reconfiguring and upgrading what needs to be assisted, allowing you to receive more and more information in whatever form you choose. Feel these waves coming onto you, going into you and clearing, amplifying, and moving back out. It's as if you're receiving and transmitting this love, this pure essence of the divine that is you. Deep into the singularity of this divinity, there is only love. Experience this. Perhaps it feels like waves of color or sound. Experience it now. Take it in. Soak it up. Go deeper. Pull more in. It's unlimited, as are you. And now we give you a key word to program yourself that anytime you need more of this, anytime anyone around you needs a little extra, that you can transmit to them. Just feel what you're feeling now, and the word is love. Program yourself now anytime you say, think, or feel or intend the word love. This is how you will feel, and it will expand, and it will grow and become more and more powerful every time, until you are nothing more than pure love, moving around in whatever form you decide throughout eternity, even in your human life. Love. 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 And know that it has worked its way not just through your consciousness, but through your physical body systems, your mental and emotional body systems. The spacesuit has been upgraded and has some new operating systems in it. Those that are able to absolutely effortlessly help you navigate the oncoming adventures in the new cycle. And you will meet them with love. And you will shift them with love. It's like flipping a switch. And having programmed you, upgraded you, and given you some balancing and healing, we now begin to come back. Bringing your consciousness back from all of these forms and more. Start to focus on that form that you came in with to this experience. Your human form on Earth, December 17th, or whatever date you listen to this recording, 2022, for those of you attending live. And know that that orb exists inside your heart, and the other reflections of you that are resonant with the love and the intelligence and the kindness and compassion and the joyful playfulness that is contained within will begin to gather and draw in others like you from the other facets of your being. So don't be surprised if you start to see other life forms around you. They're just other parts of yourself saying hello and coming in to help you with your chores of cleaning up this science lab and moving on to something much more pleasing. The next frequency, the next step, the evolvement of humankind into something much more beautiful, much more preferred, if you choose. Now feel that filling up the spacesuit, your body, Feel your mind coming back and syncing up with the consciousness, and the body syncing up with it. Begin to feel the heaviness of the body there as it succumbs to the gravitational embrace of your planet, Mother Earth, Gaia, who is also a consciousness that is you. Feel your structures coming back, enhanced, healthy, complete. Feel yourself now connected to this planet, and yet remembering and feeling your connection to everything else at will. All you have to do is feel and use the word love. So you can begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, move your body, stretch and yawn. And when you're ready, open those eyes, and we will begin to take questions from any of you who have anything or comments to say. Thank you, and in Lakesh. And so may we remind you to use the raised hands function. If you can't figure that out and you are on your camera, we would ask that you turn your camera on if you can. It's much more enjoyable if everyone here can see your beautiful human form. You can also just wave. So who has a question or a comment? We can take it. How was your experience? Does anyone have any comments about what we said in the message? Questions? Susan, we'll unmute you, or ask you to unmute, please, so that we can hear your voice.
Here.
Hello.
Hi.
How can
Hi.
we how can we help you?
No, I'm just turning the light on so I can see everyone and
Oh, okay.
coming back from where you just sent me.
We thought you were waving because you wanted to say something, but thank you
Oh,
for being here.
no, I'm blowing you kisses.
Thank you. Thank you. It's nice to see you. Anyone else have anything they want to say or ask? Well, hopefully you got something that you came here for. We see White Wave has raised their hand. White Wave, unmute yourself and please, and then we'd be happy to speak with you.
Hi, everyone. Just kind of a curiosity because I've had kind of a weird experience, not necessarily in this meditation, but just in general. With your guidance, I guess, would there be a way to discern whether something was intended to be positive or negative towards someone? Other than fear. Fear can be an indicator of the unknown, but it can also be malevolent. I'm just curious.
Only if you give it that label. If you allow things to have a neutral value, as they do, Nothing is malevolent. It all has purpose. Believe it or not, everything that occurs has purpose and is a piece of the puzzle that makes up the whole of life. And it's important. But in this third dimensional construct, you're so compressed into a small form that only has a little bit of information at your disposal in this part of your consciousness. Remember, you can reach out now using the word love and get more information for yourself anytime you need to. If you feel like something is attacking you, for instance, or feels evil or malevolent or has a negative connotation, ask yourself, what are you afraid of? Okay? And usually it is something that is a referred feeling from an experience in the past. One of the hardest things for humans to understand is you must allow yourself to detach from the past. Because the past, even though it continues to live on, it's a probability. It doesn't have to be your experience. The more you focus on something from the past, the more you give it power to live. And the more it starts to morph into a stronger form of whatever energy you have given it as a value. Do you understand? So if someone has hurt you in the past and you haven't absolutely released yourself from the attachment to the feelings that that caused you, you learned a lot from it, you can just be grateful, forgive, and move on. The next person who comes up, exemplifying sort of the same pattern, your ego goes, warning, warning, here's another one. That's malevolent, watch out. It's okay to heed the warning, but then choose to see either the neutrality or attach some good to it. Look for something good in that person. Or maybe you can't, maybe that's just too hard. Allow yourself to just be okay with allowing them to play their part. But you don't have to participate in that. You can choose what part of the play to be in. Do you understand? If you feel like you have to be connected to that person or that scenario, then be the best form of unconditional love, happiness, gratefulness, and forgivingness that you can be at all times. We understand that it takes a lot of energy, but it also takes just as much energy and makes you feel worse to continuously think, oh, is that going to happen again? Is this person going to do this? You're always walking on eggshells about it. If you are stuck in the past, you're always going to get what the past gave you. Only it's comes across in twisted and more, how shall we say, exemplified ways. The same goes with worrying about the future. If you're constantly worrying about what's going to happen next, you're just creating the worst case scenario of what can happen next. But if you can imagine your future as being peaceful and the people that you encounter as being wonderful and, harmonious, that's what you're going to get. It all stems from you, truly. Did that answer your question? Did it
It
help?
does. It's a little empowering, I guess, to try and approach, I don't know, I guess the unknown in a potentially, creative, way, really.
Mm-hmm. Right. One thing we can say about the unknown, and thank you for bringing it up, the unknown is that space that we hope that we got you to, where you were able to feel the waves coming in. The unknown is not, it doesn't have any particles of the past, nor notions of the future. It's a blank slate, but it contains all potential. And you get to assign what that potential is, positive or negative. So don't be afraid of the unknown. In fact, We say charge on, run off the cliff, and jump into the unknown. Like those people with their wingsuits. And just fly into it, knowing that you're going to have the experience that is perfect for you because you are the only one that exists and you already know what's best for you. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. We love you in Lakesh. Anyone else? We just want to say thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for at least giving us a chance to speak in your language, something that we have been trying to give you in the feeling state from the moment that you incarnated here. You are us. If you can't wrap your mind around the fact that we're in a different frequency, think of us as your future selves, sending you a vocal post-it note to remind you. You actually do this. You are unlimited. You have the ability to change everything with your feelings, with your thoughts, with your actions, but mostly your feelings. So do everything you can to feel the best you can. Do everything you can. And if you need help, just ask. We're here to help you. Contact our partner or contact someone who seems to be happier than you or, living the life you want to live. There are lots of teachers all around you. They're not just from the stars. They're within you because we are another you. And we thank you and we love you because you are our future ancestors. Thank you so much for being here today. And we just want to say thank you one more time for creating what you are creating right now and in the next few weeks, months, and years as a divine civilization. You are the way showers of that. You're the brave. And you have everything you need to do it. So we say in Lakesh one more time. We are another you. Thank you. We are the teachers. Well, Heidi ho, guys. How are ya? You okay?
Wonderful.
I feel pretty good.
My last package went out today and I have 0 responsibilities for the next 25 days.
Wow.
I'm going to enjoy myself, just like you said.
Look at you
Be
manifesting
my best.
a good future, right?
Woo!
Yay.
I made it back just in time for this. It was
Good for
yeah.
you, Susan. That's awesome. Thanks for being here. And thanks to all of you for being here. And for the recording, thanks to everyone who's listening. Remember, there is no time and space. So that's just a human construct from what the teachers say. So everything that happens on this recording is happening for you in that moment, just as powerfully as it did when it was live. And make no mistake, if you are here live or you're listening to the recording, you are here on purpose to receive and create something. This is a very powerful group. We all, what they say to me all the time is we all are here on purpose as a special group to help propel the rest of humanity, to help them. So I have to say thank you because it can get to be heavy, to be walking around like this with the world on my shoulders. So thanks for your help. But I think you're all delightful, and I just love all of you so much. And I don't know where you all are in your path right now. I do know where some of you are because I'm pretty intimate with some of you, but I just hope all of you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day and week. And, if you celebrate a holiday soon, most of you do, have a wonderful time and celebrate the good that's happening in every moment and celebrate the good in every person that you come across. especially the strangers and especially the people that you think may not deserve it. You know, find something, dig hard, and then I don't know, just uh just have some fun too. Do stuff that makes you feel light and happy if you can. The world needs you. So, thank you so much. I love each and every one of you. And listen, if you need any special attention, just, hit me up personally. Again, my stuff is most of it's on a donation basis right now. I do that every year just to say thank you and to give people access who might not have had access, earlier. It's just my way of feeling happy too. So I love you all. Thank you so much and have a great one. Thank you.
Love you, Debz.
That was beautiful. Thanks, Debs.
Thank you. In the cash to all of you. Have a great evening. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.